Hi, this is Fugen from Treeleaf. Today's talk is based on questions posed by Sangha members on Treeleaf to the Treeleaf priests. And this specific talk is about me, so bear with me, okay? First question is, tell us about yourself. Where are you from? I am from a small Swedish town called Tibro. It has a population of around 11,000 people. I was born and raised here, so I've been here basically most of my life. I only was away for a couple of years when I studied to be a teacher. What do you do for a living? I work as a teacher for refugees that want to learn Swedish, the Swedish system and so forth. I also work in a bookshop, in the local bookshop, I would say, as a local politician for the People's Liberal Party, and as some sort of gardener. I help people around with gardens and whatnot, and prune the trees, and just being a nice guy. And of course I work as a Treeleaf priest. That's why I'm sitting here talking. But I don't consider any of them as a work, because I like doing them. I like doing them all. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't work at it. So, what's a typical day in your life? That's a question that makes me smile every time I read it, because there is no typical day in my life. Each day is different, each day is new and fresh. It all holds various practices for me to get hold on and do. It's a very inspiring life I get to live. Name 3 favorite books and 3 favorite movies. I work in a bookshop, so that's a hard one. I have many favorite books, but I would like to mention 3 books that has been important and interesting to me. The first one is the first book I actually got. It's Send Flesh, Send Bones. I got it from my brother actually, a very long time, and it's been with me the whole time, every time. It's a small book, so it's not that big, but it's very big in its content. Next book is Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Suzuki. It's a basic book that most people read in the beginning, but it's also very deep and very good. And to end things, I would recommend Winnie the Pooh, which is one of my favorites. I mean, it's got so much rich content, and it's usable for everyone. Now, 3 favorite movies. As everyone knows that has been around me for a while, I like Star Wars. A bit too much maybe. And I can go out here and publicly announce that I like all 6 Star Wars movies. You don't have to take away one. Because they all have something that they bring to the party. Even Jar Jar Binks has a meaning in the movies. So it's very good, it's very enriching, it's very interesting. Next up, I would like to mention the Matrix trilogy, especially the first movie, where Neo gets to discover himself, let's call it that. Then I can mention lots of others. I can mention Big Lebowski, Eat, Pray, Love, Zen Noir, but I would especially talk about Yojimbo and the 7 Samurai. Those are old black and white movies, so maybe not all of the new people have seen them, but they're very good and they're very interesting and get something out of them. So, how did you come to Buddhism and then Treeleaf? Well, I usually, when I talk about this, say that that was when I sat in church and I looked up at the cross and I saw Jesus hanging there, you know, very skinny, yes, wound in his side, the thorn crown and whatnot. And I listened to the priest. He was all about fire and brimstone and whatnot. I was brought up in a more Christian environment. Tibro at the age of my upbringing was very much about Christianity, and if you were that sort of Christian or that sort of Christian or that, and you should go to church. I didn't go that much because my family, we were kind of a little odd on that part because it didn't matter that much, but it happened. And I sat there and I looked up and I thought, this is not for me. So that's how my journey started. And I met a lot of people and I read a lot. I was a searcher, sort of. And then I started meditating while doing much of martial arts and whatnot. And then I started a meditation group here in Tibro when I moved back. We also did some Buddhist study and whatnot. And one of the participants there said, hey, you know, there's this weird guy. He's going to start an internet forum or internet sangha. You might want to go check that out. And I did. I missed the opening of Tree Leaf by 3 days or something. So I haven't really been here from the beginning. But yeah, I've been here a while. How do you practice in your daily life? It's all good practice, as some old fool says on Tree Leaf. I don't know how, but if you see him, please smack him for me. No, but really, it's all good practice. I mean, be here, do this, that's all. If you're doing, it does not matter really if you're doing the dishes or you're doing homework with your son or you're doing meditation on the cushion or you're doing other sorts of things, it doesn't really matter because it's all good practice if you choose it to be. That's the main thing. So, I practice all the time. And I'm not saying it's easy all the time. Might be hard. Some things I do is really hard, but it's all good practice. What do you recall was the decisive moment or tipping point for you to pursue ordination? The tipping point was an interesting thing. It was the last day of school before Christmas or Christmas holiday, and I just wanted to check if I had gotten any PMs from or check the forum really. And I saw that I had a PM from Jundo, and I opened it and it said, "Hey, we're going to ordain some priests, and I would like you to be one of them." Oh, and I just wrote back, "Okay." So, an interesting, decisive tipping point moment. Yeah. But that's it. I don't see myself as any different now and then. I would be doing this even if I didn't wear these things. This just gives me an opportunity to give back more than I did before. So, and now I'm getting ahead of myself. What, if anything, is different before and after ordination? As I said, for me, there's no difference at all. Oh yeah, one difference. I get to wear these interesting clothes, which is very big and kind of heavy. I didn't get to do that before. For others, the difference is quite big at times. I am a priest, and the worst feeling I know is the feeling of silence. When I say anything and it goes dead silent or still, because hush, he, with big capital letters, is saying something. And that sort of frames the whole thing about others. Some of them think of me as something very, very special and up there and whatnot. And I'm not that. I'm just Fugen. I'm nothing special. But some people think that. Some people work around that. And then you have to use that and work that into the practice. So for some, it's very different. For others, my friends and whatnot, some of my family, I'm nothing different. I'm just the same. And it feels really good, like the Phantom, if you remember him, to walk the streets as an ordinary man sometimes. For me, it feels very good. I don't really, I'm not comfortable with being, the he with big capital letters that everybody is groveling for or whatnot. That's others can do that. I don't. What does it mean for you to be a priest of tree leaf? As I said, for me, being a priest is an opportunity to give back more, to give back and to help even further. I'm already doing a lot of things. I would be doing a lot of things even if I weren't what I am now. So, in that respect, it means a lot. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I have been given by all of you to do this. So, yeah, thank you. What do you do as a priest of tree leaf? Yeah, on tree leaf, I do a lot of talks like this. I also do a ceremony on Sundays where I sit and talk to people and have services and ceremonies. And I also do retreats and I also do a lot of talk. I talk to a lot of people on tree leaf and off tree leaf and whatnot. And I also help out a lot. I help out as much as I can and I give back as much as I can, which is one of the things we always talk about here, the giving back and to give and to be share and to be helpful. That's quite important. So yes, what do I do? Yeah, I do what every priest does. I do as much as I can. So yeah. I like to be the man behind the scenes. I don't like to be the man in front of everything. So I'm not that visible at times. I let others do a lot of things, but I'm always around tinkering. So and talking. I do a lot of talking to people too. When Jundo described me once when we talked about it, he says, yeah, you're a very good teacher. Your Zen is like a Joker Zen. So it's good for you get to meet the he and whatnot, so you get to see that aspect of things too. So my Zen is kind of a Joker Zen, maybe. We'll see. Some of you have mentioned practicing martial arts. In addition to that and your everyday life practice, are there any other religious, spiritual practice you meld with your Zen practice? Yes. I sew. I sew. I sew Rexus and cases. So thank you, Tiger. Tiger is one of the teachers that was here on Treeleaf, and he's still here sometimes. But he's the one who started this sewing practice that we do on Treeleaf, and he's been helping out with that. So we sew with Rexus, that's these things, and the cases, that's the big ones. And that's what mainly I sew. I do it as a spiritual practice, and sit down and do it. So it's that's one thing. I play Minecraft with my son in the mornings. He wakes up at 6 and he doesn't have to go to school until 7. So we have an hour where we can sit and we play Minecraft together. He's very big into Minecraft. He's turning 8 soon, so that's about his level of things. But maybe the question is about metta chants, chanting sutras, doing various other things that they do in other Buddhist traditions, and I don't really do that. Not that I don't do it. I don't put it into my daily practice as I have to do this at 7:30. I have to do this at 7:45 or whatever. No, I don't. But what I do, I really do. And whether I'm doing the dishes or doing the homework or doing the playing with my son, I really do. Most of you have kids and family responsibilities, not to mention real jobs, as well as being priests. How do you balance everything? Delicately. But really, you make choices and prioritize. And if you make what you do into your practice, it's all good practice. Okay? So that was all for the priest questions this time. Maybe I get to answer your question next time. Otherwise, I'll see you around. I am here. And thank you for your practice. It's all good practice. And may the force be with you.